You also talk about the unseen laws of the hustle.
Yes.
Can you talk about what those are?
Sure. So we tried to identify a very simple framework around 3 unseen laws. The first is to do something that moves you. And what that means is to engage in some kind of physical activity, right? It's to literally put yourself in motion. This idea of hustle conveying movement, right? You're not standing still or static. Right? So again, from sort of the physics, right? It's the law of motion. So that's the first thing. Do something that moves you. It charges you with an energy. It gives you a sense of enthusiasm, confidence, and to keep moving. That's the first thing. So do something that moves you. And that's the first step. The second is to keep your head up and look for opportunity. And that process, when you start looking and listening for opportunity, again, in every conversation, in some of the sort of the corners of your life or your work, where you're not typically looking to sort of suss out what's possible, that's when you find space to, a new space to sort of play in, if you will, and to surface ways of growing or ways of adding value and contributing to your company or contributing to your life and so forth. And so that's the second one. Keep your head up and look for opportunity. And the third is you want some sense of finality, and we call it seal the deal and make it real. Seal the deal and make it real, which is to say you start with an idea or experience and you want to bring it to some kind of conclusion, transaction closure, because that gives you a sense, again, of confidence and that you can move on to the next thing. So don't leave things unfinished. Try to take them to some sense of finality or closure, whether it's a project you're doing at work or a new problem that you're solving or something that you're exploring or experiment you're running. Seal the deal and make it real, and then move on to the next thing, right? So achieve a sense of completion, transaction, sale, whatever it might be, and move on.
You also say that last law, seal the deal, is probably the hardest. Is that right?
Yes, I would agree with that. The idea of bringing something to the end is to its conclusion can seem very daunting and requires an incredible investment of energy and time and focus and so forth. But when we leave things unfinished, we sort of dangle parts of our energy and our consciousness and awareness and our ability to move on to other things. And as you know, the world is full of so many distractions. It's another big D word besides the dreaming part, distractions. And so, again, it's just this notion of persevering and giving yourself a deadline. Set a deadline. And we do this in the professional world, but I think in our own lives we often don't do this. And so what you want to do is to put yourself on a firm deadline, agree to it, and do everything possible to hit that.